My mom would always take me to church. I never wanted to be there, bro. Like when I was little, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to church. Like, but I was little, I didn't understand things, and because my mom kind of forced me, you know, she laid off like later on, but she like forced me a lot in the beginning. Either way, her doing that, what they say is they kind of like plant a seed in you. My mom basically, with that, even though I didn't like it, she planted like a seed in me, and it was just a matter of time that seed just started sprouting, you know, on its own.
If Christians are so good and if God is so good, then like, why is everybody so bad? Why do bad things happen? Why does this do this and why does this do that? And that's why it's very important in your journey to have somebody, I would say definitely older than you, because I think age does matter because they do have more experience.
Yeah.
Someone older than you, not too old to the point where it's like completely different generations and you have like a context gap and stuff, but maybe like, you know, like I say 10 years, 10, 15 years maybe, that actually understands you on a personal level, understands where you're coming from.
I was not locked in, and it was just because at the end of the day, I didn't have God, because I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do because of the reason I didn't feel fulfilled with what I was doing. And I thought I didn't feel fulfilled just because, I don't know, I was losing passion.
And the good thing about like coming to peace with the fact that you can't control everything and that you're not like all powerful as you think you are, that in itself kind of relieves you a little bit, because like that means you're not responsible for everything. Obviously you're responsible for your actions and all that, especially when you're like a motivated person that pushes yourself and wants to get ahead in life. It's more like, you know what, I did everything I could, everything else is in God's hands. You know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If it's not, it's because something better is coming.
Add the like chug jug noise effect.
Okay. Fake.
Oh shit, dang, they're tracking someone. I think look at the cop too.
Oh.
Dang, you know who they finding, bro?
Yo, they are doing.
Free him. Actually, don't free him, bro.
No. They got a whole drone after him? That's crazy. But ready?
Look at this dude.
Whoosha. Ready? My name's Ricardo.
My name's Andrew.
And last week, we talked about the mental part of becoming a man in today's time.
And this week, we're gonna hit the topic about the spiritual part.
So, lock in. So, I think when it comes to the spiritual part, a lot of people might mistake it, and I think actually a lot of people do mistake it, as in like believing in yourself and like connecting with yourself spiritually and like all these weird like energy vibes, freaking I don't know. It almost goes into like the whole like stones and shit that people be doing. Like, oh yeah, the stones are giving me energy and all that shit. I don't believe that. I think that when we're talking spiritually, we're mostly talking about your connection with your creator, right? Whether you're Christian or Muslim or Catholic or whatever it is that you decide to be. I think a very strong connection with your creator, your God is very important. We're Christian, so we believe in one God, the only God. So that's what we have experience with. But regardless, if you practice any other religion, then this also works for you. What would you say, Andrew, since you asked me a question last time, I'll ask you a question this time. When was the unlock for you that you decided like, oh, okay, I'm actually gonna lock in with God and figure this whole thing out? Because it doesn't just come from like going to church one day and like, you know.
No, not at all. Obviously not that, because for example, I think a lot of people went through this, but growing up, I bet 80% of people were forced to go to church because of their mom or their parents. And, you know, they'd be in there whining and just bothering and just not wanting to be there. Like, cause that was me, for example. My mom would always take me to church. I never wanted to be there, bro. Like when I was little, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to church. Like, but I was little, I didn't understand things. And because my mom kind of forced me, you know, she laid off like later on, but she like forced me a lot in the beginning. And I think it's like good and healthy for, you know, an adult or a parent to teach, you know, a little one. But also I think like you gotta give it like really like its time, you know? But either way, her doing that, what they say is they kind of like plant a seed in you. My mom basically, with that, even though I didn't like it, she planted like a seed in me. And it was just a matter of time that seed just started sprouting, you know, on its own. So, but basically, yeah. Besides that, I really like started locking in once I came back from Bolivia, which was a year and a half ago. Because I think I kind of touched this in the last topic, but I lived in Bolivia for a year. I was playing professional soccer there, but I was like super mediocre. I had my own apartment, so you can imagine I had my own freedom.
In Bolivia?
Yeah.
Okay.
My parents weren't there. You know, I had my dad's family, but they weren't checking on me all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they have their own lives, they have their own kids, they have their own jobs and stuff like that. And they're really successful themselves, so they're really, you know, occupied with their work. So, you know, you can only imagine, right? Yeah. I had a lot of freedom. I'd come back home, bro, like literally like I'd have practice the next day, and I'm like professional training, like, and but you know what I mean? And I'd be coming back home like at 4 a.m., like 3 a.m., and I had to wake up like at 9 to go train.
Bro, it's not locked in.
And I was not locked in, and it was just because, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't have God, because I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do because of the reason I didn't feel fulfilled with what I was doing. And I thought I didn't feel fulfilled just because, I don't know, I was losing passion. But then I realized I just wasn't fulfilled because I didn't have God. It wasn't nothing to do with I didn't have passion for this or that. It was more of I didn't have God with me. So basically that. And then, so I came back and I fell into like a really bad like phase of like, I wouldn't really want to say I fell into depression, but I was like really like down. I would put myself down a lot.
Yeah.
I was very negative. The same thing, I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. Not as much as I was in Bolivia, obviously, because here I'm with my parents. I live with my parents, but I was still doing things. And I didn't feel happy at all. I didn't feel fulfilled at all. And I think I came back and I was like, for the first I lied, the whole school year. I remember I came back because I had to finish the last year of high school. That's why I came back also. And that whole year, I was not locked in at all. Like, not at all. I was doing, almost on my phone. I was doing, it was quick reflection. I was doing stuff I shouldn't have been still, all this stuff. I was like going to parties like every week. I would like hit my friends up like, yo, what the move? Like, you know what I mean? What's the move? Stuff like that.
Bro, out here becoming a menace, bro. When I came back from Bolivia, it was a menace to society.
Yeah, so, yeah, basically that. And I was in a relationship also at that time that was not godly centered at all. I'm not gonna say too much, obviously, because that's privacy.
Yeah.
But I was in a relationship that wasn't so godly centered. So yeah, because of that also, I was very, going to parties with that person, just whatever stuff. Doesn't matter to me, that helped me improve. You live and you learn. And summer, when after I graduated, that's when I really started locking in with myself and my mental health and everything. And from there, it just took off, But I hadn't at that time really gotten close to God. It was more of I knew Him, I was at peace, but it was more of I was focusing on myself. I was being selfish. I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But at the end, what ended up happening with the same thing happened in Bolivia was I didn't end up being fulfilled. I was like, but why am I still not fulfilled? I know God. I wasn't practicing reading the Bible. I wasn't praying a lot. I wasn't going to church. So I was like, I know God. I go to the gym taking care of myself, but why am I still not fulfilled? Why am I still low-key kind of sad? So then that's when this year, I actually I don't remember the exact month. I just know it was a month before I got baptized. So I got baptized. I really have it tatted right here. The Jesus piece right here.
Oh, yeah?
I got 1/11/26.
Oh.
January 11th, 2026. A month.
Damn.
And a half before that. So it wasn't, bro, I've been
December
literally.
Something. Or November.
Yeah, I've been really locked into this journey with God, not even for that long. It's been months, what, 7 months, 6 months?
So was this year?
Yeah, this year, January.
But yeah, maybe almost 7 months.
Yeah.
Probably.
So it hasn't been that long, but yeah, a month before that, that's when I remember I hit up my friend that he goes to this church, and I seeked for help, instead of just waiting for the right moment, because that was also too like, one of the reasons I was just waiting for the right moment, which I don't know what I was waiting for. So I was ready, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's what a lot of people also lack in everything they do is they wait till they're ready, but you're never gonna be ready. At anything you do, you're never gonna be ready, no matter how much you prepare, this and that. You're never gonna be ready, because when it happens, you never know what can happen while that. Yeah, they're like a bug.
Yo, it was like a meteor.
But
oh, nothing. It's just a bug in my mind.
But no, yeah. So I reached out, and that's when I started going to church. Started connecting with people from church, like men of God, women of God, and that really helped a lot with my journey, being with people that are in that, and especially that are around my age also, and have their own experiences, and it really helped me a lot connecting with those people. And that's what pushed me to go forward, and now that's took me to the point where I am now. And I could say honestly, I feel fulfilled. Like obviously, there's always room to improve, you know what I mean? In general, like life is still gonna go on. I still have, goals and achievements I have to achieve and I wanna succeed in. But from there on, I'm still, I can say I feel fulfilled now. Like I'm not depressed, I'm not sad, I don't feel like I need anything right now. The only thing I need is just to keep on moving forward and keeping my relationship with God and just stay disciplined with it, because it's hit me a lot too, where I've gotten like lost out of track with my relationship with God. Not because I'm ignoring him on purpose or anything, but it's just with life and stuff, and you get distracted, But you have to learn how to put your priorities straight, and that's what I've learned now. And I continue to learn, because, no one's perfect, but you have to try to resemble the most you could being like God. You're not a God, but you have to kind of, that's what they say, you have to
like emulate him.
Yeah, you have to kind of, resemble the best way possible you could. And yeah, that's kind of my journey, It wasn't easy at all. It's not easy getting close to God, because when you get close to God also, you realize all your problems and what you lack in. And since obviously something that everyone deals with is ego, my ego was beating me. Like when I was getting close to God, I was like, bro, but I know if I get close to God, I know I'm gonna be like, dang, like why would I do this? Or I know I'm gonna be aware of my wrongdoings, and I'm gonna actually feel guilty for it. Because that's what happens when you get close to God. The sins that you continue to do or you do, but you're always you're always gonna feel guilty for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously pray, repent from it, but don't continue to do it. Just because God forgives doesn't mean it's a reason for you to continue to do it, because he's gonna forgive you every single time. Yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb. But that's basically my path, bro. It's been good. I'm happy where I am. I want to improve more. I'm going to improve more, and that's that. Yeah,
that's interesting. I guess mine's similar in terms of like my mom forcing me to dog every Sunday. Oh my gosh.
Early in the morning.
She did her thing, as in like, I think I generally don't know, honestly. Like, I don't know if as a parent you should kind of just make it a standard to go to church on Sundays and kind of force your child to do it. I definitely think maybe like when he's a kid, preteen, definitely. I think as a teenager, the only way that it actually works and sticks is if you choose to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
But obviously have an example, right? It's like your parents going, stuff like that, asking you, hey, you want to go, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, the thing is like, they should expect you to say no. Yeah. You're a teenager.
I agree with the parents being an example, but that part about forcing to go, I don't agree, because it's like, if you force someone to do something,
it makes you not want to do it.
The process is going to take longer for them to get used to it or like it. So it's like, it's better to be an example of being that person that just pressures them to do something. Like, I'd rather be an example. Like, for my kids, because, bro, like, in general, with everything you do, being an example goes further than pressuring that person to do something. So that's what I'm going to be for my kids. I'm going to be an example of a man, and, a godly man.
Yeah.
for them, my son can look at me and be like I want to do that. I want to be like that. Oh, I see my dad doing that. Like, I want to try that out.
Yeah.
Instead of me just telling him, get up, you have to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think also, like, in terms of setting an example and making your kid want to go to church or want to get closer to God, I also think it's, I don't know if this is a problem with, like, all Hispanic parents or just, like, all parents in general, but, like, you also see, like, Hispanic parents, like, they either like to party a lot, or like they like to drink a lot, or, you know, they do this and they do that, and it's like, well, you went to church on Sunday, and, you know, God says that you can't do all these things, and then you're doing them the next Friday, right, with, like, the whole family and stuff, and it's like, and I think as a child, you don't really understand that, like, humans aren't perfect, and that your parents aren't perfect.
Oh,
shit,
dang,
that's a
they're
drone.
tracking someone. I think, look at the cop, too.
Oh.
Dang, who they finding, bro?
Yo, they are doing...
Free him. Actually, don't free him, bro.
Nah, they got a whole drone after him. Yo, they got a whole drone after him? That's crazy. But, yeah, no, if you have your parents and stuff, like, you just have to, like, at some point during my journey, something that helped me out a lot, because I was really, like, confused about that. I was very, like, well, if Christians are so good and if God is so good, and like, why is everybody so bad? Why do bad things happen? Why does this do this and why does this do that? And that's why it's very important in your journey to have somebody, I would say definitely older than you, because I think age does matter because they do have more experience.
Yeah.
Someone older than you, not too old to the fact where, to the point where it's like, you know, like completely different generations and you have like a context gap and stuff, but maybe like, you know, like I say 10 years, 10, 15 years maybe, older than you or something like that. That actually understands you on a personal level, understands where you're coming from. For example, in my journey, like I said, my parents, they like, in their own imperfect way, forced me into going to Sunday school, get my confirmation, do this and do this and do that. And I remember getting up every single Sunday and I'd be like, no, bro, why do I have to go to church? I just want to sleep in. I want to go play with my friends. Or I want to like just not do anything. And then that left a really bitter taste in my mouth because I was doing something that I didn't want to do. And I didn't really understand what was going on. Like, yeah, sure, there's God. And like, what about it, right? Doesn't really teach you the importance. And I think that's kind of what I lacked. So obviously being a rebellious teenager, I would be like, nah, fuck that. I don't care about this shit. Blah, blah, I can do everything on my own. And then that's when like that's when life and like the world takes care of you, right? And like it knocks you and then it knocks you more. And then once you get up, it knocks you a third time and then maybe a fourth and fifth time. And every single time you get knocked down and attempt to get up, it's like you get up fine, sure, but there's not that satisfaction of like, I got up and I got over it. It's more like, I got up and like, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? So it's, with time, you kind of exhaust, or at least what I did was I exhausted all the options, right? Whether it was like toughing it out or like going to the gym and going harder, or like, I was never really into like drinking or drugs or anything like that. So those were never really outlets. But definitely like people, like girls and, like just things like that don't serve any real purpose in terms of like fixing yourself and helping yourself out. Or like working very, very, very hard and just kind of toughing it out. It doesn't work, and it didn't matter how much money I was making. It didn't matter how much friends I had around me. It didn't matter if I was broke, if I was living on my own, if I was making good money, freedom, and all that shit. And it just nothing felt, like you said, fulfillment. It just didn't feel good. I felt sad. I was confused on why I felt sad, and I was mad at myself for feeling sad because I didn't understand it. And the good thing about like coming to peace with the fact that you can't control everything and that you're not like all powerful as you think you are, it's that like you're not as powerful as you think you are. Like that in itself kind of relieves you a little bit, because like that means you're not responsible for everything. Obviously you're responsible for your actions and all that, but all that responsibility of like, I have to do this or I have to do that, or like, if I don't do this, that doesn't happen. Like, it kind of relieves a little bit of that anxiety, especially when you're like a motivated person that pushes yourself and wants to get ahead in life. It's more like, you know what? I did everything I could. Everything else is in God's hands. You know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If it's not, it's because something better is coming. So I remember one day I was like horrifically down bad on my couch, and I was literally like, dude, you know what? I tried everything. It was a Saturday. I tried everything, over here crying because I didn't know what to do. And next morning, literally just like, okay, I'm gonna go to this church, see what happens. I went to church, and like, I don't know what happened. What? Fucking weirdo. Anyways, I went to church. I think they're drunk. Anyway, don't be like them.
I hope so.
But I went to church and
Yeah, wait, sorry. Someone in a car or someone has done something every single video, right? That we've made so far. Like the one before someone waved, the one before the cross pulled up, and then now this
we
one.
have like this
I don't
weird
know,
like girl
they
blasting
just
music,
screaming.
drinking in the car, driving.
I don't know.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Drive and drink. Anyway, don't do that. But I went to church, fourth time. Went to church and, like I said, a switch flipped.
Yeah.
It was more of like a flip switch. A switch flipped and all the weight kind of came off my shoulders. Mm-hmm. And I almost felt like crying a little bit. I was like, damn, man, like I feel like I've like found the answer to life. It's like,
You cried in church?
I shed a tear. I don't really like
bro.
crying in public.
Yeah, no, I feel
I don't really like crying in public, but I definitely was like, you know, a couple of tears, and I was like, fuck, man. And then I was really confused at what I felt. So I would like shake it off to like, oh, even then I would still shake it off to be like, oh yeah, no, just the music and the worship was really nice, and like pastor said a couple things that like kind of resonated with me, like that was it. But then I went again next week, and then I went again next week, and then I started meeting people there, and then I got a mentor, and then started talking about my life and all this and all that, and it was like, my main question was like, how come Christians are so fucking happy, and how come I can't have that? And then I remember he was like, oh no, you can have that. Matter of fact, you already have it. Jesus loves you, and you're already saved. You just haven't accepted it. And I'm like, well, so you're telling me if I accept it, everything's gonna be okay and I'm gonna be happy? He's like, yes, you just have to actually like acknowledge it. You have to actually be 100% about it. And I was like, okay. And then I tried really hard, started reading the Bible, started going to Bible studies, doing this and doing that, and putting God in the center of everything that I was doing. And like, it was great, honestly. Like, to this day, it's great. And like Andrew said, not to say that like we're perfect in any way, shape, or form. Like, you know, I still sin, Andrew still sins, and like we're far from perfect. But the fact that we're not perfect alone, but we're perfect together with God, changes everything, right? Just because Jesus came down here to save you and died for you, and now you're good for life, doesn't mean that you get to be a horrible person, right? It means that you get to be a person that does bad things, repents, tries to not do them again, even if you end up doing them again. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a very weird thing to say, I guess, out loud, but that's kind of like the reality of it, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, bro. Definitely.
I think that, which church do you go to?
Well, yo, shout out ELE, Eternal Life Embassy, bro. Best church in the DMV. If you guys have watched it this far, it's in West Springfield High School. Pull up Sunday service, 11 a.m. It's full of a lot of young people. If you're young, if you want to start your path, or you're in your path and you just need a church or something, pull up. It's very fun. There's amazing people in there. And yeah, I love ELE.
My church, shout out City Light Church. If you guys have come this far, it's like, I don't know what the address is, but it's like in Falls Church. Amazing. Like likewise over here with like young people. They're very like young, adult focused. Obviously, you know, they have like a bunch of services, and they have a bunch of services towards like young adults only as well. I know a couple of friends that go there, a couple of friends that have looked into it. Everybody has good reviews about it. I think that it's amazing. I think that Pastor Nate's amazing. I think that Pastor Bruce is great. And then every single other pastor is amazing as well. So, you know, we'll invite you to try both of them.
Yeah.
See which one. I don't think there's a better church.
No.
I think there's just a church that fits you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
where you feel a connection, because it's
Yeah.
not, you don't go to church to find which one is the best. You go to church to find which one you have an actual connection with. Because I've
Yeah.
gone to multiple churches, and the one I'm in right now is the only one I've ever felt a connection with.
Yeah, and
Ever.
it's like, yeah, definitely. It's not like a competition. It's not like my
Yeah.
car's better than yours or whatever it is. No, it's like when it comes to church and God and everything, you know, church is great. It's a community, and like you go whatever the community, like open arm community, they understand you, people that are like you. And just remember that church is one thing and God is a different thing, right? Church is more like the connecting cable, right,
Yeah.
to the power source that is God, right? So don't get confused. A lot of people get confused and they start worshiping church instead of worshiping
Yeah.
God, which is completely different. But I think, you know, what are some main lessons that you have learned thus far in your walk with God? Like some canon event.
There's one pinpoint that
Canon events.
I think everyone is aware of, and if you're not, you should be aware of. Well, once you start your walk with God, you're 100% in your life gonna have to sacrifice one thing.
One thing?
Yeah.
What?
Or whatever it is, something in your walk with God, something always that you most likely never wanted to happen, it always happens. Whether it's you're in a relationship and then when you start working with God, all of a sudden that relationship just ends.
Yeah, and it's
Or
just,
if you have a passion of doing this or doing that. For example, mine was playing soccer. And actually, coming back, when I started my walk with God, I actually had an offer to go play in Colombia.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had in Santa Marta.
Okay.
Yeah, in that city.
I went there.
Yeah, with Unión Magdalena. I forgot the name of the team.
I don't know.
It's close to something like that. But it was a first division team.
Yeah.
And I had an offer to go play there. And so I was in between, I stay here, get close to God, get my life straight, but leave soccer, my passion, and miss an opportunity to go pro in honestly one of the biggest countries in the world for soccer. Like,
Yeah.
people love Colombia, you know what I mean? And on top of
Especially
that-
now in the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Then actually have potential to go and play in the Colombian national team, because I already got called up for the Bolivian national team.
Yeah.
So I already had one checked out. But now obviously I want to get called up for the Colombian one.
Yeah.
And at that time period, like I was already in my prime, like I was the fittest I ever was. Like I was like in my prime.
Yeah.
Or I go to Colombia, potentially succeed in everything I want, you know what I mean, have everything. Or with that, I stay lost, because I know damn well if I went to Colombia, bro, like everyone watching this, you all know what's up in Colombia. If I had went there without
Too
having
many-
God the way I
too many
should have, oh, God knows the stuff I would have done over there, bro. God knows. But everything happens for a reason. I had something in my heart that was just telling me, no, don't go. It's a good opportunity, but it's not good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just like, no. Declined the offer. It broke my heart. Literally, the person who helped me get that offer, I forgot their name, but it was a Colombian player that he played in the national team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
That's dope.
like in the old days, like in the 90s.
Oh, 90s.
Yeah, my dad met him because my dad played pro too, so he knew a bunch of players. Did you know that? My dad played pro?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, my dad played pro back in his days in Bolivia and stuff. And he met a player from Colombia here, and through him,
yeah?
literally he's in the internet everywhere, like you can search him up. But, he helped too, so on top of that, with him helping, I was like, I felt bad. I was like, bro, he went out of his way to help me.
Yeah, a lot of people were taking that.
I know everyone would have taken that.
Right, to go pro in Colombia, live
It's
there.
amazing, bro. Like Colombia is amazing.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
the only part I've been to is Cali and Bogota, but even so, like
I've been to Bogotá, Medellín,
Medellin. I need to go there.
Cali, Santa Marta, Cartagena,
Yeah. I wanna go there.
Pereira. I need to go to a couple other spots.
Yeah.
But
I need to go.
I love going over there, man. Amazing food, amazing people.
It's beautiful, but
You can slip up so easily. Oh my God, you can slip up so easily.
It's beautiful, but I don't recommend if you don't have God in your life and you're not really locked in like that. I don't recommend going because you can get lost, like he just said. Ricardo
Lost in
said,
the sauce.
you can get lost super easy over there, like super easy in anything.
Yeah, especially if you have money and you're
The
young.
temptations are all there and everything. So, and then food too, bro. If you're a gym, bro, going over there, yo, the food, bro. Yo, forget about eating good. I mean, not eating good, but eating.
You better go in a bulk.
Yeah, you better go in a bulk.
You better
over
go
there.
when you're in bulking,
The
dog.
food is
'cause
amazing, bro.
if you're going when you're cutting, you might as well just cancel the trip. Not gonna lie,
But
you're gonna miss out on so much food.
yeah, but no, yeah. So that was mine. I had to sacrifice. Literally, I grew up with soccer. That was my passion. Like I woke up.
Yeah. Do you think
And
you
that
have to
was bad.
sacrifice that because you idolized it more than you idolized God?
That's like literally why.
Yeah.
Because when you idolize something so much, God takes that away from you. Because God is a little jealous, bro. People don't know that, but God's a little jealous. Like he doesn't want you.
You think he's jealous or he's just?
You can cook with that. I don't know what you mean.
So, do you think he's jealous that you're idolizing somebody else, or do you think he's just being fair because you're not idolizing him as you should? Like, think about it. If you had a kid, right? And if you had a kid, and that kid loved, like, playing soccer more than he loved you, would you check him?
Yeah.
Would you check him and be like, "Yo, like, what are you doing, dog? Like, I put you in here. Like, you should be thankful that I'm giving. Like, I gave you everything that you have right now to have the opportunity to chase something that you love, but you're not doing that. So you know what? You're not playing anymore."
Yeah, I
You
wouldn't
think
want
that's
to
fair?
idolize me, but definitely, yeah. Like if he's like, you know what I mean?
Well,
But-
he's just not appreciating.
Yeah, it's just not appreciated. But no, definitely that. Like, and it goes in within everything. Like, if you're idolizing something materialistic or a person or even your own relationship, like,
Yeah.
those things get taken away in your walk with God because it's just in general not gonna work out. Because if you're not having God in the center, you're just having each other in the center. Like, going off of your own understandings, everything will go to crap, to shit, and everything. That's what happened with me with soccer. It went to crap. It went to, you know what I mean? I thought it was my passion, but now I don't have any regret. Like, I literally don't have any regret. Like, I'm happy where I am now, which is crazy to me because, like, literally, I couldn't imagine my life before without even touching the soccer ball.
Really?
Not at all.
It's
bro.
crazy how
It's
shit works
crazy.
now.
And then now I'm at peace. I'm like happy. Like, I'm not bothered about, you know, because I still have friends that hit me up or people that tell me like, yo, I've been to soccer, like this and that. But I'm like, no, just you know, stuff happens, you know. I keep it like that, then I keep it pushing. But it's because I don't have no regret. I don't have nothing against it, you know. I still watch it at times, you know, here to here, but I have other goals now. I have other achievements, you know. God, you know, put me on a new mission, and you know, I'm just here to fulfill that. You know?
I think it's crazy for like a non-believer to hear that, right? Because like, imagine you're working for this one single goal your whole life. Something happens where it just doesn't work out, whether it's your fault or whether it's not your fault or by choice, and then you're okay with it, right? I think that's what people don't really get, and that's something that I didn't get, honestly, because I know some people that like they had bright futures, they had a lot of stuff going for them,
everything going
in
for them.
terms of like worldly stuff when it comes to like money, fame, or like options and ways to succeed in what we measure in success and stuff like that, and they like I would say I could probably name like 3 people off the top of my head that just like completely switched up and decided to like either spread God's word or like go to like other countries and like, you know, spread God's word there and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm like thinking, I'm like, dog, you were basically on the fence of like making millions.
Yeah, you would have
millions of
never
dollars.
imagined, yeah.
Like you just kept it pushing for like 3 months. You would have become a millionaire, retired family, whatever, and you could have gone and done like did that. Like, why did you choose to do that when you could have had like everything you could have asked for if you just waited a little more? And then every single person said the same thing. Like it was God's calling, or like God put it in my heart, or like I'm just doing what God called me to do and stuff like that. And I'm just like, at first I didn't really understand it, but I'm like, damn man, like
you feel more
crazy,
fulfilled
man.
doing what God called you to do than doing things of, you know, through your own understanding. You know, it'll be fun for the moment, but you're gonna end up just going back to zero. So it's like, you know, you rather do what God wants you to do.
Yeah, and I realized that as like I progressed in life, I would always measure my life success and things like that through metrics of like, did we make this much money in a month, or did we make this much money in a year, or like, did I get the girlfriend, or like, am I lifting this much? Am I like eating whatever experiences? I'd be like, I either have a good life if I do this, or I have a bad life if I don't, right? And every single time I would reach that goal, reach that number, get the girl, or like do the activity that I wanted to do. At the like, it feels great for like 5 minutes, and then you're like, okay, what's next, right? There's like this endless treadmill of objectives that just to-do lists that just never ends. But then like when I accepted God and when I got closer to Him and whenever I decided to let Him into my heart, into my life, it was more of like, okay, these objectives are cool, but like the main mission's complete already, you know? If I die tomorrow, I'd be kind of sad, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, if I died tomorrow, I'd be happy in the aspect of like I feel at peace, but I'd be sad in the way of, but I didn't fulfill everything I wanted to fulfill.
Yeah, like I didn't do what I wanted to do, but at the very least, the main mission's completed. As in like, I have a relationship with God and I know I'm locked in with Him, and I know that, you know, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. If it was my time, I guess it was my time. It kind of sucks, but I guess it was my time.
Yeah.
And what I've seen recently is a lot more men specifically, I would say, obviously women as well, but I think more men specifically have chosen to look for God, look for like a way into church and a way into that kind of community. Why do you think that happens now? Because it didn't used to happen before. I'd say like 5 years ago that didn't happen. It's very recent.
I'd say because there's a lot more examples in the world now. You know what I mean? Like Bryce Crawford, or like there's like tons of people I can name. Like, there's just tons of people that are put as examples now. And I feel like honestly in general, everyone, like even if they're not really putting content that are godly based, they somewhere or in some way make sure that people know that they believe in God. So that like just little like those little comments like just clicks in people's minds. And doing that, like people don't notice, but you spreading the word or talking about it on the internet, without you realizing it, you're planting a seed on the people that watch it. And then through their own time and stuff like that, they'll go through their own experience, that seed will just sprout randomly. They'll be like, what? Like, that's so random, you know what I mean? And their life will change. And that's how it works, you know? That's why it's like, you have to, you know, spread the word and always and stuff like that, whether it's in person or online, because you never know, but, you know, God does a lot of miracles, and just simply as a small message, you can just plant a seed in someone, and then literally that sprouts into something amazing. You know what I mean?
Into like something very beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I think that's how it worked on us. Honestly, a little seed was planted, and then it sprouted, and then through life experiences, people, it kind of just evolved into this whole plant of God. So, I think we should probably tell them, like, give them a couple tips on like how to go closer, like personal tips, like what helped you out to get closer.
A couple of tips I'd recommend to get closer to God is, one, the first part is always acceptance. You have to accept the fact that you're this person, that you do this, that you do that, all this stuff, to start that path. Because if you start that path without accepting it, like you're walking into that with your ego high, with your pride, with thinking what you did is fine, with thinking how you are is okay. But with God, like, you have to be submissive. Like, you leave it all into His hands. So the first step would be acceptance, like accepting your life, your circumstance, who you are, what you've done, especially, because a lot of people have regrets and stuff like that. And everyone holds on to regrets, you know, but you shouldn't be holding on to those things. So the first thing I say is acceptance. Then the second thing, and which I actually learned recently, and I don't know if people are going to agree with me with it, but it's in the Bible. But one thing I peeped is that a lot of Hispanic parents also, they baptize their babies when they're little.
Yeah, I was baptized.
Yeah. My recommendation, that's what I did. Well, I was never baptized in general, but my mom did it for a reason. But because in the Bible, nowhere in there talks about getting a baby baptized. No baby in the Bible has ever gotten baptized. But you know why?
As like an adult or whatever, whenever you are ready.
But you know why? Exactly, because like what you just said. What does a baby know about God?
Maybe you don't know shit. You know, technically, it's like a Catholic thing from what I know, it's a Catholic thing,
Yeah, it's
and like they do it to
Catholic.
erase the sin of being born.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't.
I mean, like
Okay, I don't want to offend anyone, but that doesn't in the Bible. Like I'm speaking off the Bible. I'm not speaking off my own understanding. I made it up. I'm speaking off the facts in the Bible. If you read the Bible correctly, no baby in there has ever gotten baptized, and nowhere in there it says to baptize your child as soon as it's born.
Yeah.
Why?
No one says that.
I guess. Yeah. Like, people made into this thing that because it's the thought of it's nice baptizing your baby.
I think it's like Old
the
Testament
sins.
things.
Yeah.
think
Because the sins are gone. But your baby doesn't even know what it's getting baptized for. So it's like a baptism is a symbolic act of dying to your old life and getting a new life. But what is that baby dying to? He was just born.
Bro was born 30
Your
minutes
baby
ago.
was just born. What is that baby dying to? Like, they had no life. They're not dying they're not leaving anything behind. They're just starting their life. So if anything, you should focus more on planting that seed on that baby and being that example for him growing up, instead of baptizing him and thinking that now your child is a child of God. Now, yes, everyone's a child of God, but they're not, how to say it, they don't understand God. They don't know what God is when they're little.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it because of just the thought of baptizing your child and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, like it's so beautiful, but it does nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it literally does something to your child. You're just dumping that little poor kid in water and taking him out for no reason.
He was crying for no reason.
Literally.
Well, not to offend anybody, but yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
that's
no
what it is.
offense,
I
but
was
that's the
baptized when I was a little baby. I have a picture now, and I have like godfather, godmothers, and stuff like that. So I get the point of it because it was done to me. But like at the same time, like me from my personal experience, I don't think
You grew up in,
I don't think
exactly, you grew up in sin, right?
yeah.
That's the
I was
point,
like,
though.
I didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
You
my
know what I
bad.
mean?
But from an example that I just said, that's like literally an example right there.
Yeah.
You got baptized as a child, right? But growing up, you did sins, you went to a whole different story, a different lifestyle, you didn't want to get close to God, right?
Yeah.
But that's the point of why you don't baptize your baby. Your baby's not going to grow up like this and like that. You know, he still has his own life experience.
Yep.
Stuff to learn.
Yep.
Stuff to happen.
Yeah.
And you baptizing that child did, for example, nothing.
Yep.
And this is not just with him. This happens with everyone.
Literally everybody
I know
that I
so
know.
much people
Yeah.
that have gotten baptized when they're babies.
And nothing.
And respectfully, but they grow up and they're just
Horrible.
total opposite. They're bad
Horrible.
people.
I was horrible too. So they're
Yeah.
horrible as well. Yeah.
So it's like, it's just, man, it just has no meaning. Focus really on just implanting that seed on your child growing up, instead of just baptizing him and thinking that your child was saved. Now your child is saved and good. No, like, your child is saved once through their own will. They choose to get saved. They choose to do that, because again, getting baptized is a symbolic act of you going in the water
And being
dying
reborn.
to your old life, getting taken out of the water, and getting risen into a new life and a new path where all your sins from the past die, and you continue on a new path. Obviously, improvement, better relationship with God,
Yeah.
and just going up from there. You know,
Yep.
again, a baby is not dying from anything, because like what sin is the baby causing? You know what I mean? Like, what sin? You know what I mean?
Yeah, technically speaking, it's like, again, the sin of being born and all that, and that's great. Well, it's not great, but like that's cool and all, but like we have free will for a reason, you know what I mean? Like the whole point of being a human is that you have free will and you're able to experience God's creation and what is life and all that stuff, and you get to answer those questions on your own. So the fact that you get baptized as a child when you have no like consciousness, when you're just kind of like incapable of moving by yourself, like you can't even talk. You know what I mean? You can't even say like, yes, I want to do this, or no, I want to do this. I think it's kind of pointless. No shade, but I like I said, I got it done. I have pictures and all that stuff, so I think it's pointless from my point of view.
It's fun.
I got, I guess, rebaptized or like truly baptized 2.5 years ago. And like, man, I have the video, and like for some reason the video is like horrible quality, but I have the video, and like I had to do like a testimony about my life and like how everything was, oh my gosh, and I like literally started like tearing up, and like that's when I cried for real. It was kind of like embarrassing a little bit for me, at least, to like cry in public and all that stuff. But it felt like an actual rebirth. It felt like an actual being like a new person. Like you said, accepting the fact that you did this, accepting who you are as a person, and accepting that it's okay to make these mistakes. It's not okay to repeat them. Know that you're gonna repeat them because that's just how we are as humans. Mm-hmm. But the only change is that now you have God by your side, right? Now you have God's forgiveness and Jesus' love. And so being baptized then definitely felt like way, way better than however it felt when I was a child because I can't even remember it, right? So, yeah, get baptized.
And
I think it's great.
Not re-baptized, get baptized for real. Because first baptized, I'm sorry, but it's pointless and it means nothing. It has no meaning. Why also has no meaning? A baptism is for yourself. It's for your own flesh, for your own soul. If your parent, as a child, is forcing you to get baptized because you're a baby, you have no will. Forcing you to get baptized because you can probably
maybe not forcing. I don't think they're doing it with bad.
No, not like bad intentions. But I'm saying forcing in the way of if that was someone that was older and their parent came to them and told them, it would have been a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
But obviously they're a baby. Just get up and take it whenever you want. You know what I mean? That baby not gonna do anything to you besides cry when you dump in the water.
Crazy.
But also, it's pointless also in the fact of, like I said, baptism is for your own self, for your own soul. It's something that you do for yourself. Doesn't matter if your mom's telling you to do it, or because your dad, or because your best friend, or because your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whoever is someone close to you in your family. It does not matter how much, even your pastor, it does not matter with how much they tell you. It matters when you accept it and want to do it through your own will, because that's when it's meaningful. That's when it brings meaning to it, because you're actually having a connection with God and doing it for a purpose. Not because your dad said, your mom said. That brings no purpose to it. You have to do it because you said and you want it and you accepted it. That's why also, a lot of parents, I know, it's a nice act, but you don't baptize your child just because you want your child to get baptized.
Yeah.
Your baptized should get child because they want to get baptized. That puts a meaning into it. So your word, your thought has no meaning. It's nice, you know what I mean? It was beautiful. My mom felt happy that I got baptized in my family. But at the end of the day, it had no meaning if I didn't feel happy with doing it.
Yeah. This is not to like go against like anyone's parents.
No, against, but I'm going off of...
They know what they know, and that's fine. But the whole point of saying this is like, so you know what's up. Like, yes, you got baptized, but you know that you're not a child of God, or that you are a child of God. I'll take that back. Yeah. You know that you're not being a good example of what a child of God should be, right? So, and you know that you haven't accepted him for real. So getting rebaptized or truly baptized is you accepting and taking that first step. I think it's a true first step towards accepting God, right? Because that's just the beginning. You know, it's not like you get baptized and then you're not you're not committing any of the sins, or you 100% have no doubt that God exists, or you 100% pray every single day, right? It doesn't mean that you're perfect in any way, shape, or form. It's called like an initiation step. Yeah. It's like the first step that you take.
Yeah. So, I mean, last point, I guess. You know, again, not to offend anyone, but if you've already gotten baptized before, stop. And I've heard this plenty of times. Stop living in that excuse of, I already got baptized when I was a child. I don't need to get baptized again. Yeah, says the person that the week before was smoking, going out, going to a party, doing stuff, and I already got baptized. I don't need to get baptized.
Yeah.
Do your own research and understanding, please.
Yes.
And yeah, but that's basically it.
Yeah, I guess last tip, because I think we've talked a lot about baptism, not a lot about anything else, but I think last point, when it comes to your walk with God, you're gonna encounter a lot of opposition in the beginning, I would say, right? Whether it's with your friends, with your family as well, with the people that you surround yourself with, and just like the world overall, because the world's very like anti-God and very like anti-religion and more pro to whatever they think. Which, I mean, like, we're humans, we have free will, we have the right to do that. But in your walk with God, you're gonna realize that some of the friends that you have don't really help the journey, right? Don't really help your journey with God. So you're gonna realize that some family that you have are hypocrites and they don't really believe in God. They just kind of do it because it's like a routine kind of thing. And what I've done and what I keep doing is, don't be the person that just kind of kicks them to the curb. Like, I know there's this thing calling, we've probably said it a couple of times, of like, if your circle doesn't serve you, kind of leave them and change or look for a better circle. Like, yes, look for a better circle. Because like at the end of the day, you're, every man for themselves, and you got to do what you got to do to get ahead. But don't just kick everybody to the curb and burn bridges. Be that person, be that son or that brother, or be that friend in the friend group that plants the seed. Like we said, you don't have to convert anybody. That's not your job. That's God's job. But be the person that plants the seed in the friend group, plants the seed in your sister, plants the seed in your parents, of like, hey, maybe we've been doing this wrong. Hey, maybe we shouldn't go out drinking tonight. Or hey, why don't we go to church tomorrow instead of going out to brunch? And let them figure out the rest. Your job as a Christian is to deploy God's word in the world. That's why he said, go forth and like spread my word, or I don't know Bible verses like that, but he said something along those lines. And so that's our main mission, right? That's why we do this as well, to prolong and give out the word of God, because it helped our lives, and we think it will help your lives.
Yeah, definitely.
So on that note, I think that's that's very good. I think that's a good way to wrap it up. I guess announcements. The Grind Tracker app is out now. We built it out, and there's still updates rolling out, but hey, we'll leave the link in the description if you want to check it out. It tracks your macros, tracks your workouts in the best way ever. I mean, we've been using it. I think it's great. We have some test users. They think it's great. I mean, we haven't gotten any bad feedback, so I think that's good. Coaching. We opened up our coaching this week, so we'll leave that in the description as well. If anybody that wants to upgrade physically, mentally, spiritually, and eventually financially, you'll work 2-in-1 with us, and that would be great. So, any final notes from you?
No, I mean, God bless anyone who's watching this, and stay in prayer.
Stay in prayer and lock in.
Yep.
See you guys.
See ya.